I had to tell her that with a 580, her options were limited. She could qualify for an FHA loan, but the interest rate at that score would cost her hundreds of extra dollars every month compared to what she would pay at 700 or above. Over 30 years, that difference adds up to tens of thousands of dollars. So I gave her a choice. She could buy now at 580 and pay more for the next 3 decades. Or she could give me 6 months, follow a plan, and buy at a score that would save her real money every single month. She chose the 6 months. And what happened over those 6 months is something I have repeated with dozens of clients over 25 years. It works every time. And I am going to walk you through the exact plan step by step so you can do it yourself. When Keisha first came to me, here is what her credit profile looked like. She had 3 credit cards. One had a $2,000 limit with a balance of $1,900. That is 95% utilization on that card. The second had a $5,000 limit with a balance of $4,200, 84% utilization. The third had a $1,000 limit with a balance of $800, 80% utilization. She also had a medical collection from 2 years ago for $600 that she did not even know was on her report. Her total credit card debt was $6,900 across $8,000 in total limits. Her overall utilization was 86%. Here is the thing most people do not understand about credit scores. Your credit utilization ratio is the single biggest lever you can pull to move your score quickly. It accounts for roughly 30% of your score. And the magic number is 30%. If every one of your cards is below 30% utilization, your score starts climbing immediately. If you can get them below 10%, the jump is even bigger. Keisha was at 86%. She needed to be under 30. That was the entire game plan. Here is exactly what we did, month by month. Month 1. We made a list of every card and its balance. Then we prioritized the card with the highest utilization percentage first, not the highest balance. The $1,000 card at 80% was the target. She paid that down from $800 to $250. That dropped utilization on that card from 80% to 25%. One card under 30%. Score moved up about 15 points in the first 30 days. Month 2. We attacked the $2,000 card next. $1,900 balance. She paid it down to $500. Utilization on that card went from 95% to 25%. 2 cards under 30% now. Score jumped another 20 to 25 points. Month 3. We tackled the big one. The $5,000 card at $4,200. She could not pay it all down at once, so she made 3 extra payments of $500 each throughout the month. Balance dropped from $4,200 to $2,700. Utilization on that card went from 84% to 54%. Not under 30 yet, but the overall utilization across all 3 cards was now down to about 43% from 86. Score gained another 10 to 15 points. Month 4. She continued paying down the big card. Got it to $1,500. Utilization on that card was now 30%. All 3 cards at or under 30% for the first time. Score jumped another 15 to 20 points. Total gain so far was about 60 to 75 points. She was sitting around 645 to 655. Now here is where we added the second strategy, the authorized user trick. Keisha's mother had a credit card she had owned for 12 years with a perfect payment history and a low balance. I had Keisha's mother add Keisha as an authorized user on that card. Keisha never had to use the card. She never even had to hold it. But the 12-year payment history and low utilization of her mother's account appeared on Keisha's credit report. Within 60 days, Keisha's average age of credit history went from 3 years to over 7 years. That alone added another 15 to 20 points. Month 5. We disputed the medical collection. Keisha had paid the original bill, but the provider had sent it to collections by mistake. We wrote a dispute letter to all 3 credit bureaus with documentation showing the bill had been paid. 2 of the 3 bureaus removed it within 30 days. The third removed it 15 days later. That removal added another 10 to 15 points. Month 6. Keisha's score was 721, 580 to 721 in 6 months. She did not take out any new loans. She did not use any credit repair company. She did not pay anyone a fee. She followed a plan that focused on 3 things: paying down utilization below 30% on every card, getting added as an authorized user on a family member's old account, and disputing an inaccurate collection. Let me break down the 5 strategies that made this work so you can apply them to your own situation. Strategy 1. Pay down utilization below 30% on every card. Not overall. Every card individually. A lot of people think that if their total utilization across all cards is under 30%, they are fine. That is not how it works. The scoring model looks at each card individually. If one card is at 90% and another is at 5%, the 90% card is still hurting you, even though your overall number might look okay. Strategy 2. Pay the highest utilization card first, not the highest balance. This is counterintuitive. Most people want to attack the biggest number first, but the scoring model rewards you for bringing individual cards under key thresholds. Getting one card from 90% to 25% moves your score more than bringing a big card from 60% to 50%. Strategy 3. Become an authorized user on a family member's account. The account needs to be old, ideally 5 years or more. It needs to have a perfect or near-perfect payment history. And it needs to have low utilization. You do not need to use the card or even have access to it. The history simply appears on your report and ages up your credit profile. Strategy 4. Dispute inaccurate items on your report. Pull your credit reports from all 3 bureaus at annualcreditreport.com for free. Look for collections you already paid, accounts that are not yours, and balances that are reported incorrectly. File disputes online or by mail with documentation. The bureaus have 30 days to investigate and respond. Strategy 5. Do not open any new credit during this process. Every new application triggers a hard inquiry, which temporarily lowers your score. Every new account lowers your average age of credit. While you are in score-building mode, freeze everything. No new cards. No new loans. No financing anything. Now let me tell you what happened when Keisha came back at 721. At 580, the rate she qualified for would have given her a monthly payment of approximately $1,900 on a $250,000 home. At 721, the rate dropped significantly, and her payment came down to approximately $1,650 on the same house. That is $250 a month less, $3,000 a year. Over 30 years, that is $90,000 saved. 6 months of disciplined credit work saved Keisha $90,000 on her mortgage. That is the power of walking into a lender's office with a strong score versus settling for whatever score you have right now. Let me give you one more piece of advice from 25 years of doing this. The best time to start working on your credit is the moment you decide you want to buy a home someday. Not 6 months before. Not when you are ready to apply. The moment the thought enters your mind. Because credit building is not an overnight process. It takes consistency, patience, and a plan. Here is what you should do right now. First, go to annualcreditreport.com and pull your reports from all 3 bureaus. It is free. It takes 5 minutes. Second, look at your utilization on every card. If any card is above 30%, that is your first target. Third, check for errors, collections, or accounts you do not recognize. Dispute anything that is inaccurate. Fourth, ask a family member with a long credit history and low utilization if they would add you as an authorized user. Fifth, do not open any new credit. Freeze everything until your score is where you want it. Keisha went from 580 to 721. From limited options and an expensive rate to a clean approval with the best terms available. From paying $90,000 more over the life of her loan to keeping that money in her own pocket. Your credit score is not permanent. It is a number you can change with a plan and some discipline. And the payoff is not just a better mortgage rate. It is a better financial life. If you are buying a home in the next 12 months, subscribe to this channel right now. Every single week, I break down exactly what lenders look for, exactly what kills deals, and exactly what 25 years of mortgage experience has taught me about helping buyers close on their dream homes. No fluff, no jargon, just the information that actually protects your deal. I will see you in the next one.